Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open ultra late today, and let's see if we can get some wins with Guzzlord paired with the Shadow Ampharos and the Armor Mewtwo. So interesting backline. We are going to be able to flip into our Ampharos, and we have the Trailblaze coverage move. Looks like our opponent does invest a shield, and we are just going to double shield out of this scenario. We're going to fire off another Trailblaze before they can get to another move. They decided to let it go, and now our Ampharos is double boosted. Now we're going to have our opponent throw the Confusion Cresselia. So very interesting. We are going to catch something, and we do catch the Grass Knot, and our opponent switches into their Fairy type, but we do have the coverage for that with our Guzzlord. First Sludge Bomb does roughly 50%. Our opponent reveals a Dazzling Gleam, easily taking out the Guzzlord, and now we're going to have to win this game with our backline. Armor Mewtwo is our choice. We're going to be able to tank whatever moves they throw here, and that's indeed the case. We simul switch here into our Ampharos. They have their Cresselia still really healthy, honestly, and now it's the battle of two tanks. We know that this Cresselia has some neutral moves, and they proc the debuff, unfortunately for us. Looks like we get to this Side Shock before they can get to their move, and luckily, our Armor Mewtwo was able to endure all that damage, and we get the win. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game somehow, some way with the Armor Mewtwo, taking down the Psychic and the Togekiss. Here we got the two dragons battling out. They are going to have the advantage. We do not have any super effective moves. We tank the first Glaciate. They are going to let this go, and we just got to hope that we can soft lose this at this point, or maybe even getting a shield. Okay, we do get a shield. That's pretty decent. We're not going to allow the farm down. We're going to go straight into the Armor Mewtwo, and we get the farm down. That was really lucky for us. I guess they were trying to reach another move, and now we're just going to fire off a ton of dynamic punches. We are probably not going to shield here, and our opponent is going to probably throw payback. Let's see. Oh, we do shield, anticipating the payback, so I take that back. We are going to head into the Ampharos, and unfortunately we get met with the Gastro, but they let the Trailblaze go. But since we're in Ultra Late, they survived one Trailblaze from full health, but they do not survive the additional Volt Switches, even though they are resisted. So GG's to our opponent. That was an interesting endgame. We basically used our shields pretty efficiently there, luckily, and fortunately for us, we did pull out the win. So here we're kind of thinking about whether we want to change the Guzzlord moveset to maybe, I don't know, throw in a Dragon Claw, but we are just going to stick with the current team and see how it plays out. All right, against the Cresselia, our opponent switches out immediately, so interesting swap. They're going to go into their Muck that is running Acid Spray. So unfortunately for us, we are going to be basically throwing resistant moves, but our Volt Switches are doing almost all of the damage, really. And because of that, we have to shield to even win this matchup. And we are going to swap out immediately into the Armor Mewtwo as soon as they reveal their switch. And now we're getting met with the Giratina, and unfortunately we have our move caught, and that is not the best scenario. Side Strike is going to get used here, doing some significant damage. And do we invest a shield? Nope, we don't. We're going to switch out into the Guzzlord, and we still don't know what moveset this Cresselia has. But since they swapped out, they might not even be running the Moonblast. So let's see what they're running actually. They are running the Moonblast, so now we know that they are potentially going to one-hit KO if we don't catch a move. Looks like our opponent is going to save some energy, but we at least get this Giratina out of the way. One Volt Switch I believe, registered, and now we're going to have to force them throw energy. Moonblast does get used, and unfortunately for us, that's going to be GG's, because this armor Mewtwo needed to get to 2 side sharks to even have a chance. Maybe if we had thrown our side strike with our armor Mewtwo, get the shield, and then head into the Guzzlord, still would have been tough. Okay, not the best matchup here. We're going to go into our armor Mewtwo. We get met with the ghost type. The Ultra League Dusknoir is going to be revealed, but they actually shield still. So it looks like they're going to one shield and win this matchup, and I guess that's okay. We are going to tank this dynamic punch, and now we're going to have to throw this brutal swing on good timing. And now we gotta hope 2 shield Ampharos is gonna win us the game. These volt switches are doing super effective damage, and because of that, we are gonna boost up our volt switch. We know that they are gonna be running Aura Sphere, and okay, I believe it's a Blastoise. So Blastoise here is gonna farm up a ton. We try to catch the move, but unsuccessful. We force out some energy here. Hydro is enough to take us out, unfortunately. And now the question is, do we survive 1? Oh, they actually have this Skull Bash ready, so definitely don't survive that. Nice plays by our opponent. Unfortunately, the Togekiss did too much damage all around. All right, let's see if our opponent is going to stay in. We are going to stay in as well. We're going to build up a ton of energy. They throw the superpower and dip out of there. That's fine. Somehow we survived it. And now we're going to have our Ampharos onto their Corviknight. Once again, we are going to boost up our volt switches. And then we're going to fire off this brutal swing. That's going to get the KO, or it's going to get the shield. Oh, and unfortunately for us, our opponent has a fairy type. So we're going to have to do as much damage as possible here. We force out the switch, and now our opponent has their regular Dragonite rebuild. So they've already revealed all their moves, Thunder Punch and Superpowers, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We force out some energy from this Clefable. We do shield the correct Moonblast, as that would have done significant damage. I believe we still would have survived, but this forces them to use more energy. Our opponent goes for the Moonblast again, and now we have an opportunity to try to get them to use energy with our Ampharos. Looks like they get the Swift off, but it doesn't KO, and because of that, the neutral Trailblaze will be, if not enough, definitely come close. So check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.